no. I was just making. No, that's no problem. This week opponent is Ohio State. It's a great time for us in football season because you have an opportunity to play such a good team and in a great place. The second game of the season. Somebody tape just turned off. Yes.
Does it all? Okay, we're live.
You sure? But it's a great opportunity for us to go out and play Ohio State, the second game of the season. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of crowd, a lot of enjoyment of the football game. This game is going to be a game that you go and you say, hey, you're playing the number 2 team in the country at Ohio State, and just make sure I reiterate, this is a game where we're going to learn either way. We're going to learn either way. At the end of the season, we'll be a lot better than we are today. And this week when this football game is over with. A lot of people want to say this is a measuring stick of where your program is at. You know what, I agree, but year in and year out, you want to improve all the time. And I think that this game is just another game that you go out and you play and that you want to win the game, but we still have a long season to go. I mean, after this game is over with, you still have 10 games left that you have to go out and compete and play a lot of games in conference. And I think that this game is so exciting about it because it's a game that everybody in the country will be watching this game. It's a game that is going to be 2 teams that Ohio State is always known for big-time tradition, and Miami is a young university that's been having success early in the 80s and 90s, and now we're in the late 2000s, mid to late 2000s and teens that we're coming back where we need to be at. And I think the more chances that we get to play like we did last season is very good. A lot of people say, well, is this game going to affect your football team? I always bring this up. We went through a lot of things last year, which I think is great for us for this season. The first 3 games of the season, we was on a roll, and now we came up a big game against Virginia Tech, and we couldn't handle it. We was a young football team, immature, but I think every time that I have an opportunity and I let the guys understand that, hey, we've been through this. Don't fall into the trap. Look at what we had last year and look where we was at. So make sure we stay focused on ourselves, and we will. The biggest thing I think from this game is that we have to improve from what we did in practice last week to what we're doing in practice this week. I think if we improve in those areas, we'll be great in this football game. And more than anything, I think you cannot get caught up into University of Miami individual players going against one of their individual players. And I stressed it amongst the team. If we go out and you say, hey, this guy's the best football player on our football team to get us ready to win this football game, that's the only thing that matters. It's not Terrell Pryor against Ja'Cory Harris. It's not that competition. It's Ja'Cory being the best football player for the University of Miami to win the game. The best defensive end is Allen Bailey or Jomo or Olivier Vernon, or the best running back is Damon Berry, being the best that they can be at the University of Miami. That's all that matters. And I think that's what it comes down to is guys just believing in the team and believing in themselves and going through the process of it, of understanding it's not going to be the one play in the first quarter or the second quarter. It's going to be you being consistent and staying focused through the process of the game, and it comes down to at the end it's going to be the big key of the game.
Randy, what do you think it adds when you go into these places like Florida 2 years ago, and all the traditions you have here, it's like it's times 10 at some other places. It's on campus, the whole town just sort of stopped, the whole city, half the state kind of stops and watches. People watch at other games in Ohio. They got TV and watching Ohio State. Do you think your kids ever really take notice of all those little traditions and can it add anything to this experience for them?
Oh, I don't think so. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I think the thing that kind of like when you're being at Miami that you see so much, you see a lot of traditions in small towns and little cities like Ohio State, Florida, like guys that you mentioned, Tim. But I think because of it's not enamored with it because of what we see far as when you go out, you may see like an Alex Rodriguez or one of the Wayman brothers down, or you may see Dwayne Wade. Those are like big name guys. And when you go to places that are traditionally like Ohio State, Michigan, places like that, it's great to play there, but you've been in awe already. And I think that kind of helps us out being in Miami, that you've been in those situations. The difference would probably be the noise crowd. You can never, no matter what happens, you can't assimilate that in practice at all. I mean, that's just totally different. That's probably the factor, but it won't last long because it all matters is what's on the field after that.
Randy, what do you think back here? like to get your team to be more jacked up for this game, or as much as possible treat it as any other game?
It's just another game. Yeah, I mean, it's no different. They're going to be ready to play. They'll be jacked up. They was excited about playing Florida A&M. So it's not every game is the same type of game. You can't go high and low, and I think that's the difference when you have a team. The great teams is always have the mentality of, I got to play to my standards. It's not the matter if you're playing FAMU or you're playing Boise or Virginia Tech or Ohio State. Is you got to be ready to play week in and week out. You play to your standards and your level. Now, the real teams that are not great, they lower their standards. Of, oh, well, we just playing this team. We don't really have to give much effort. Those are teams that they're not really great. They're good, but they won't be great. So I think that's the difference.
Where are you guys at in that standard?
Well, I think we're doing what we have to get done. I'm really excited about this team because the guys have really practiced well today. I mean, we were 6 minutes early off the field today, which is great. Same type of plays as last week. So the first day compared to last week, we've gotten better because of the practice tempo. Now we got to be consistent and I think stay on that level, which is really, really good for us.
What's the challenge, the biggest challenge going up there? The atmosphere, the Terrell Pryor, or when you compartmentalize or strategize, what are you looking at?
I think it's just more of us, to be honest with you. I mean, it's, like I tell everybody on offense, I just go start with offense. Offensively, we just got to go out there and play football. It's not Jacory, it's not Damon Berry, it's not Hankerson. It is the offensive football team. It's going to be somebody on the offense field. As I'll tell you right now, you probably not expecting, probably going to make some plays on offense. I can't tell you who it is because we got different guys that can make plays. So it's going to be somebody with, where did this guy come from? Why not Hankerson is not getting the ball. Hankerson probably will be a guy to get a lot of balls. But it may not be Hankerson. It may be LaRon. It may be Travis. It may be Richard Gordon. So it's going to be something that happens that when we stress team and guys, stand through the process, if it's your guy to run the route and you're not getting the ball, hey, somebody else must be open. So those are things offensively I think that we've been focused on trying to get done. Defensively, it's just like anything, execute your job, do your responsibility. You may go through a game, and I've been through this as a player, but I had one tackle in a whole entire game. But I did my job for other guys to make plays. And I think that's the thing that, as a defense, you cannot get lulled to sleep and saying, I'm in the game, I'm not getting any tackles. They double-teaming me if I'm a defensive tackle. We was always, if defensive linemen are getting double-teamed, that means linebackers are going to make a lot of plays. If the defensive lineman is getting single, you're going to see a lot of defensive linemen getting a lot of tackles for loss. So it goes hand in hand in what you're trying to get done. And then in special teams, we just go out there and play. And I think we got some weapons on special teams that we can be very, very good at, bless you, that we can be very, very good at and do certain things.